So, we are back again guys sa panibagong episodes ng ating reaction na video. At ngayon ay nandito ulit tayo kay Nook's Top 5 at ito ay pinmagatang Top 5 Ghost Videos. So, scary you go boom boom. At kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, mag-subscribe ka na at nandyan lang po yun sa may baba. So, ano pang hinitayin natin as for dado? Let's go na. So, by the way guys, in-skip ko ulit dahil itong part na to ay napanood ko na. Punta na tayo dito sa Motowens, you know?
Writer Ethan's TikTok is dedicated to videos of his biking trips into the sand dunes and woods of Oregon. But one day when he's 15 miles out into the woods and completely alone, he experiences something that frightens him to his core.
Yap, napanood ko itong part na to, pero feeling ko may i-explain yata dito. Okay, tingnan natin.
Kinda creepy. Go this way. This is where most people would turn around.
May,
Turn around and you never get to see what's on
meron ditong uungol
the
eh.
other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side.
Ay, hindi pala. Creep. Ungol ba yun? Parang sigaw yun eh. Hindi pala ungol, sigaw pala yun.
Hello?
Ethan is shocked when he hears strange human-like sounds coming from the woods. He believes it's a voice saying, "Hey," and "help."
Could be missing out what's on the other side. Hello?
Ethan then hears strange movement in the brush that seems to be quickly moving towards him. He decides to just get out of there and is even so spooked that he runs right off the path and almost ends up
Ay, naku.
falling right down the hill. When he posts the video to his TikTok page, he wonders if he might have had an encounter with a skinwalker or some kind of cryptid. Because you see,
Yung part na yun na dito, hindi ko napanood yan. Yung part na yan.
when he posts the video to his TikTok page, he wonders if he might have had an encounter with a skinwalker or some kind of cryptid. Because you see, it's rumored that a strange creature wanders these woods. But many of his viewers just shrug it off. They say that he probably just heard a bobcat or maybe even a peacock. Now, whether it was just
Parang pusa, no?
a bobcat or a peacock or not,
Kasi parang yun yung pandinig ko eh. Parang pusa eh.
many of Ethan's viewers want to see more. They ask Ethan over and over to return to that same spot in the woods to see what happens. So finally, Ethan decides to return, but he makes the very bad decision to return late in the day as the sun is starting to set. As you might guess, it did not go well. Something happens that no one can explain.
Oh god, bones are still here. I don't like this at all. Oh god, there's even more bones than last time. It's been a few months since I filmed the last video, because honestly I've just been too scared to come up here. Definitely a lot more overgrown than last time. I'm hoping that since it's been such a long time
Hapon na yun, no? Maghahapon na yan.
that I don't think anything will happen this time. I think that tree is actually gone. This road's been cleared. Looks like we've already passed it a while ago, but that tree is gone.
Ako, maggagabi na.
Oh! It's just dark as hell in here. I'm probably gonna
Oo nga.
soon.
Hapon na nga. Yap, meron siya dito
Oh,
makikita
wait.
na naglalakad
Holy crap, dude, this trail goes
dito
on
sa part
forever.
dito. Bandang dito.
It just got really quiet really fast.
Yo, may naglalakad din, oh. Gago. Gago ka. Dali.
No, 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 no. Yeah, that was my cue to go. That was my cue to leave.
It's already getting dark when Ethan finds himself in a field and tries to decide which way to go
Kahit na siya ay napanood ko na, matas pa rin yung balahibo.
next. All of a sudden it gets really quiet as even the crickets seem to stop chirping. Suddenly an ominous looking figure walks right out of the darkness of the tree line. Terrified, Ethan gets out of there as quickly as he can. So what do you think is going on here? Did Ethan find the creature that he heard months earlier? Could this be what many believe to be a skinwalker? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. The devil down in the hole. Andrew Smith regularly sets out to explore secluded tunnels and caves in the beautiful landscape of Arizona. On one of his trips, he finds an abandoned mining cave and decides to take a look inside. What happens next is downright
Grabe, dalawang choice ang iyong papasukin. Isa dun sa kabila tapos isa dito.
chilling.
Grabe, pinasok pa rin niya.
Andrew suddenly hears a scream, followed by the chilling sound of running footsteps somewhere deep within the cave. This isn't Andrew's first cave explorer, and he actually manages to keep calm and continue his trek through the tunnels.
Ang mas masama, kung di mo alam yung palabas ay tapos ka. Talagang maliligaw ka talaga. Dapat kapag papasok ka dyan, dapat kabisado mo yung daan palabas. Kapag hindi mo kabisado yung daan dyan sa, ang tawag diyan, sa tunnel na yan, tapos kang bata ka. Maliligaw ka dyan.
But the sounds become increasingly more disturbing. Andrew's camera captures what sounds like several voices whispering to him. One of the voices even seems to say, "We don't know who this is." Andrew searches the tunnels, but he can find nothing to explain the ominous sounds. Since we don't know the history of the abandoned mine or why it was abandoned in the first place, it leaves you to wonder just what happened there and what could be the source of all these spooky noises. But as to whether it's real or not, as always, I leave that up to you to decide. We need scary videos, so if you see something that you think should be on Nuke's Top 5, be sure to email us at nukestop5@gmail.com. Email link in the description. The Dead Next Door. These next creepy videos were recorded by a woman from the Philippines who wishes to remain anonymous. The woman had just moved into an apartment with her partner when she quickly realized that something was very wrong there. First, her dog begins to continuously bark at their door even though there's nobody there. And whenever she's alone, someone knocks on the door as if trying to enter. One night she hears a child running through the hallway and watches as the door handle moves by itself. She then hears a woman shouting at the child, so she finally decides to grab her phone and record.
Tapos may sumilip din eh, no? O nga, no? May mga sumisigaw na bata.
Every time she looks through her peephole, she finds no one there that would explain what she's hearing. Now, it should be noted that there were 2 apartments on the floor, but the other apartment was mysteriously and completely vacant. No one else lived on this floor, so there should be no one in the hall, no child, no woman making these sounds. So the tenant shows her footage to her husband, and they alert the building security guard. But he too finds nothing and no one to explain what she's captured on video. There's no one on that floor. Another late night, and this time the woman is startled awake by loud screaming and crying, again coming from the hallway right outside her door. What she captures is absolutely chilling.
Tapos may mga umiiyak na babae. Dami nun ah. Merong umiiyak na babae.
A child can be heard screaming and a woman can be heard sobbing. Loud banging echoes through the hallway. Horrified, the woman contacts security immediately. When the guard watches the footage, he goes pale. He breaks down and tells her that on the same day 12 years ago, a woman and her 7-year-old daughter brutally lost their lives in the other apartment on that same floor. It was suspected that the father had ended their lives, but he was never caught. And that is why the other apartment had been left empty for years. Terrified by the incident and what she had captured on video, the woman decided to share her story on the internet. So, could the spirits of the woman and her little girl be trapped, condemned to experience her story on the internet?
Oo nga, Pilipino nga.
So, could the spirits of the woman and her little girl be trapped, condemned to experience their tragic end over and over, never able to move on? Let me know what you think. School of the Dead. Popular Japanese ghost hunters Hiro and Tomo from the
Ito.
YouTube channel Omagatoki Film set
Yung
out
gusto
to
ko,
investigate
Japan.
an abandoned school that sits on top of a mountain somewhere in the countryside of Japan. The investigators don't know why the school was left abandoned, but rumors say that a student took her own life inside the school and that her tragic spirit still walks
So dati pala yung school.
the hallways.
Napakalaki naman
Curious
pala.
visitors have reported an alarming amount of paranormal events,
Oh,
including
wow.
the high-pitched laughter of children and the apparitions of young boys and girls watching down from the upstairs windows. In one dark room in the basement, a lone desk and chair sit creepily in the middle of the room. This room is said to be so intensely haunted that it has sent previous visitors running from the property in fear. Together with their cameraman, Hiro and Tomo enter the building and soon begin to hear strange sounds and voices. After having explored the main and second floor of the school, they finally head into the basement in search of the infamous, most haunted room in the entire school, the desk room.
絶対来ない。ちょっと待って、ゾワッとしたぞ。鳥肌やば。やば。あったんだ。てか、ちょっと変なこと言うけどさ、めっちゃ人いると思ったんだけど。なんか人がいる空気みたいな。凄まじかったんだけど今。なんだこの空間は。もう絶対これだね。これだよ。誰かがいたずらでさ、置いたとも十分考えられるようなほど
Yung table at tapos yung bangkuhan, buo pa.
違和感は凄まじい。
Maayos pa oh. The desk and chair that give off at ano yan? Anong basa dito? Anong tamang pag-pronounce ito? Negative energy. Baka kasi ako magkamali ng pagka-pronounce kaya hindi ko na binasa.
でも本当にね、ここに入った直後の異様な誰かいるような感覚はすごかったな。ちょっと待って、めっちゃブレる写真が撮れん。
Investigator Hiro takes a few photos with his phone and thinks nothing of it. That is, until he gets back to the car and looks through his photos. What he finds is truly disturbing.
今車に戻ってきて、でまあどうしようかってね話をしてたんだけど、でさっきも言ったけど地下のさ部屋でさ、写真を数枚撮ってたじゃないですか。結構ブレた写真とかが、
For sure, meron tong nakita na something dun sa picture.
何枚かあってさ、何枚も撮ってたんだけど、ちょっと
Yan na,
わかる？
meron na.
これ最後に撮った写真なんだけどさ、机と椅子あったじゃん。
あったね。
あそこにさ誰か座ってるように見えるんだけど、
もう一回見せてもらっていい？
ちょっと待って、
うん
ちょっと明るさを変える。
うんうん。
ほら、
あ
え見えるでしょ？
見える。この黒い塊でしょ？
Ah!
これ何？
あ、確かに。
Oo nga, oh. Ayun, oh.
座ってるね。
見えるよね。
やばいね。
見えるよね。
さっき撮ったやつでしょ？
そう。ほんと黒い物体だからなんか人には見えないんだけど、
Ay, may nakaupo.
いやでもさ、
ちょうど
そんな風に
Nakaupo siya, oh. Parang nakatalikod ata. Nakatalikod yata to.
映るものもなかった。
ないよ。だって前の写真がね、さっきの写真これだもんね。これはちょっとあれだね。まあもう一回行かないことには。あの椅子に座ってもないしまだ。
これヒロ君が写真撮ったってことはさ、これなんかヒロ君の方が今回何か引き寄せてるのかもしれない。これは。
と思うじゃん。実際そうじゃんね。
A dark shadow can be seen sitting at the desk even though there was no one there at the time. Hiro decides that he must figure out just what he captured in his bizarre picture. So, he decides to return to the school to investigate all alone. It was a very bad idea. As soon as Hiro goes back into the school, he says he feels like he's entered a horror game.
もうこんなホラーゲームだよね。
And when he gets to the second floor, his fears seem to become a reality.
さっきの机と椅子があった問題の部屋に行ってみよう。
Ano yun? Uy,
ちょっと待って、今一人だよな。ちょっと待って。
may nakatayo. Nawala din. Ito mukhang totoo to. Legit na hindi siya scripted.
いや無理でしょ。やっば。今見間違い今の。
In a split second, a dark shape appears to be standing inside one of the rooms.
Diba sabi ko rin, nakatayo yun eh.
But whoever or whatever it is disappears
Para siyang nakatayo pala. Yun pa rin sinabi ko.
before the investigator can even blink. Hiro runs over and searches the area, but there's no one there. There's also
Siguro mga ilang segundo lang yan, nawala din.
in that room. Now shaken up by the ordeal, Hiro takes a deep breath and decides to get his investigation done as quickly as possible so that he can leave the spooky school. He heads straight downstairs and back into the creepy basement room.
Grabe, lawak pala ng school na yan.
And this is when things take an even creepier turn.
Saka, ang lawak din. So mag-isa na lang pala siya. What? Ano nakita niya?
When Hiro takes a seat on the chair, he suddenly feels what he describes as a presence watching him from inside the basement. He hears a noise and looks, but the sound is not captured on camera. But suddenly just then, a horrifying pale face slides out from underneath the desk. Hiro
Ay,
makes
mukha.
a run for it. And with that, the Omagatoki team has had enough and they leave to just go home.
Totoo ba yun? Totoo kaya yun?
Now, whether you believe Japanese paranormal encounters
So malabo siyang edited kasi pixel siya oh. Sigurado ang hirap niya mag-edit ng ganyan. Sobrang hirap ng ganyan mag-edit. Oh, pixel oh. Malabo din yung quality.
are real or not, the footage is most definitely very creepy, and it certainly freaked me out. So, you can watch this entire 3-part investigation over on the YouTube channel, Omagatoki Film. Window to the Soul.
Pero hindi natin sure kung edited yun or hindi. Sa hindi naman ako expert about sa mga ganyan Sinasabi ko lang yung gusto kong sabihin.
This
Yun lang.
mysterious video was shared to the internet over 15 years ago.
Para sa akin, hindi ako sigurado kung edited yun or hindi.
The video shows a group of friends hanging out somewhere in the city of Thessaloniki in Greece when the camera captures something they simply can't explain.
Alam mo yung tipong magja-jamming sila tapos may biglang diba? May nakatayo dun sa may bandang dito, sa may bintana. Dito. Nakita ko yun.
Did you see it?
Sus, laking laki. Posible hindi ko makita yun.
First, everything
Nakatayo.
seems completely normal, but then a bizarre figure of a man appears
I know.
in the window. Now, the easy explanation would be that it's just the reflection of a poster that's hanging on a wall opposite the window. But when the cameraman later pans back to the window, the man has disappeared. The cameraman posted the video to YouTube but has never posted anything since.
Grabe, 15 years ago.
So, it seems that the video and its creepy capture will remain a mystery. The Abandoned Graveyard. Paranormal investigator Ian from the YouTube channel Midwest Ghost Hunter is back on another investigation. This time at the allegedly haunted Vicksburg Cemetery in Renville County, Minnesota. The old graveyard is abandoned, overgrown, and hidden away deep in the Minnesota woods. In the 1870s, the cemetery was part of the thriving town of Vicksburg, but the village is now nothing more than a ghost town. Perhaps quite literally. You see, visitors to the cemetery have reported seeing and hearing supernatural activity, and locals warn tourists to stay away from the graveyard at night. Midwest Ghost Hunter, aka Ian, soon finds out why.
All right. Entering the cemetery. All right, I'm coming over to visit. I hope you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. This whole grave is in shambles. I'm sorry that your tombstone has been destroyed. What happened? Is it vandalized? Whoa. Okay, I just heard you.
Ian finds a headstone that seems to have been smashed to pieces, and when he asks whether the headstone has been vandalized, a quiet little voice seems to whisper, "Yeah." The investigation.
Whoa. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I heard that. I heard you once again.
Malungkot siya.
Ian decides to explore more of the cemetery, and when he reaches another gravestone, something happens that he just can't explain.
Oh, whoa, whoa. What the hell was that?
Suddenly, the fence begins rattling by itself without reason.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. That sounded like the fence. Did you just rattle this fence? What's your name? Here, I could try to read your grave. What does that say? Nanny? Is your name Nanny? Whoa. Okay. I take that as a yes. Thank you. Is there anybody else that's buried here? Whoa, I just heard your voice. Could you say it once more? Dude, oh my God, I just heard you again.
I just received an intelligent response from what sounds like a ghostly little girl, and now realize that there actually may be two spirits haunting this gravesite. Nanny Bickle, who passed away at the age of 5, and Ida Bickle, who passed away at age 7.
Ilan?
And Ida Bickle, who passed away
Nung pinanganak siya is 1870. So, nung namatay siya ay 1876. Aba,
at age 7.
After the fence surrounding two gravestones rattles on its own and the voice of a little girl seems to respond, Ian decides to take some pictures. What happens next is absolutely unnerving.
Pose for the photo. Could you smile? All right, I'm gonna count to 3, okay? And I want you to pose for this photo. 1, 2, 3.
If you look at this photo closely, there appears to be two
Oy!
misty little girls
may dalawang mukha oh.
staring into the camera from the gravesite. They both appear to be in their adolescence, have long hair, and dark beady eyes. In the photo taken afterwards, they are completely gone.
Two misty apparitions that look like little girls appear in one of Ian's pictures, sitting right next to what he believes is their own gravestone. So is old abandoned Vicksburg Cemetery truly haunted? Let me know what you think. You can watch this entire investigation over on the YouTube channel, Midwest Ghost Hunter. Thank you so much for watching. If you have
So anyway, yun lang guys. I hopefully ay nag-enjoy kayo and ingat and God bless. See you in the next one, the video. Paalam. Ingat parate.